So, BG possibly got set up? Or how does that work? I'll let y'all decide.
Exclusive, baby. Rapper BG had permission to perform and should not be re-imprisoned, say lawyers. Attorneys for Christopher Dorsey asked federal judge in court filings on Friday to allow musician to remain on supervised release. Attorneys for the New Orleans-born rapper BG maintained he did have official permission to perform alongside prominent fellow musicians, despite what authorities claim when they recently arrested him on allegations of violating the terms of his supervised release from federal prison. Lawyers for Christopher Dorsey, BG's legal name, made those contentions in court filings on Friday that asked the federal judge to allow the artist to remain on supervised release rather than face re-imprisonment. In late March, a federal probation officer successfully requested that Dorsey be arrested on allegations that he failed to obtain the necessary clearance to perform at a concert in Las Vegas, Nevada, where he now lives alongside fellow rapper Lil Boosie on February 8th. The probation officer alleged that Dorsey, 43, did not obtain such clearance to publish the album Choppers and Bricks alongside the Grammy-nominated rapper Gucci Mane in December while living at a halfway house, as well as the videos, Really Understand, released on 16th February on YouTube, and Yellow Tape with Kid Kid, which appeared 8 days later on Apple Music. However, Friday filings assert that Dorsey had gotten the proper permission for all his work from those monitoring him at the halfway house before he had been put on supervised release under the watch of a probation officer. And at a preliminary court hearing after Dorsey's arrest, prosecutors conceded he was granted authority to perform in some of these instances when he had been accused of not having permission, something they blamed on an apparent communication lapse. Dorsey's probation officer had also objected to the fact that Lil Boosie and Gucci Mane, whose real names are Torrance Hatch Jr. and Roderick Davis, respectively, each had prior felony convictions, as people on federal supervised release are generally required to refrain from associating unnecessary with those who have prior felony convictions. Yet, Dorsey's attorney Bill Gibbons and David Kresnoff reiterated that the halfway house had given him permission to have contact with both artists before he moved out and was put on supervised release. Gibbons and Kresnoff also wrote that Hatch and Davis were successful music artists, and Dorsey collaborating with each of them could only help his career. They also said Dorsey recorded his parts of Choppers and Bricks in Las Vegas while Davis was in Georgia. The arguments on Dorsey's behalf came 3 days before a hearing in federal court in New Orleans, where the musician had been sentenced to prison in 2020 on gun charges. Accompanying the filings were letters from people saying it would benefit the public to let Dorsey stay on supervised release, where he has been productive, rather than return to prison. Authorities of those missives, I don't know how to say that, included the leader of the Emerald Dream Foundation, the charitable animal rescue organization in Las Vegas that has hired Dorsey to be an outreach worker, as well as the Cash Money Records co-founder Brian Baby Williams, whose label released BG, Top Hit Bling Bling. Since Christopher's release, he has dedicated himself to not only rebuilding his life, but also re-enriching the lives of others around him. Elena Fuchs, president of Emerald Dream Foundation, wrote. Williams, meanwhile, added that Dorsey was not only a talented recording artist, but also a beacon of resilience and growth. His music reflects his experiences, struggles, and triumphs, resonating with audience on a deep and emotional level, Williams wrote. As BG, or Baby Gangsta, Dorsey was a part of Cash Money's Hot Boys, alongside New Orleans rappers Lil Wayne and Juvenile. One of the group's albums debuted at number 5 on Billboard 200 in 1999 and went platinum as fans were captivated by the Hot Boys' lyrics about dealing drugs to financially support themselves, violently protecting their trade, and rewarding themselves with jewelry and flashy cars, among other topics. Dorsey was handed a 14-year prison sentence in July 2012 after pleading guilty to illegally possessing a gun during the 2009 traffic stop. He also pleaded guilty to obstructing justice by successfully pressuring one of his associates to falsely claim ownership of the gun at the center of the traffic stop, which means, bruh, y'all can't call this man no snitch. But anyways, by the fall of 2023, Dorsey was transferred to a halfway house. Then he saw his prison sentence reduced on the 24th of January to time he had already served. He began a 2-year period of living under federal supervision outside the halfway house on the 1st of February. And during the second week of January, Juvenile spoke openly about his desire for the Hot Boys to reunite. But then Dorsey was rearrested in late March on supervised release violation allegations. He was let out of custody on his own recognizance, pending the outcome of the case, in order to appear in federal court in New Orleans as required. Dorsey's next court date in New Orleans is tentatively scheduled for Monday.
All right, here's what I think ultimately happened, honestly. I think BG just didn't get permission again. Because to me, what kept standing out, bro, was the fact that he knew. We all know, bro. I've been on probation since 11 years old. For stupid stuff. No, that's a lie. That's a big-ass lie. 13. Yeah, I got on probation at 13. Just a fight. Just a stupid assault. Just kicking somebody in the face. So not super gangster like a lot of y'all want to claim. Either way it go, Bro, even I knew, hey, bro, you mess up, they're going to lock your ass up. So that's number one. Number two, I really think this is just the probation officer being petty or being kept out of the loop. I think what ultimately played the part of BG getting arrested was that BG might have been smelling this up a little bit, or what I really think is that probation officer was goddamn in his feelings. Instead of just a stern warning like, hey, bruh, you need to make sure that everything you do, you need to run it past me as far as this music crap go, bruh, he didn't, and that's what ultimately more than likely got him snatched. Because to me, it's like, there's a stigma on old rappers, right? I didn't even know BG was 43. But that's what the pen to do to you. The pen will make sure that you don't age. I got a cousin right now. He look younger than us. He been in the pen for 20 years. But either way that go. One of those times where we scratch our head and we don't have the answers because we know the rules. It's literally because they knew the rules as well and somebody messed up. And I liken it to this, because I'll do a Bandman Kevo video on the other channel. It'll be in the comments. I just got to make it. Remember when Bandman Kevo had got arrested by Miami PD and they released his mugshot and there was nothing wrong with his face, like nothing wrong with his face? And I'm like, bruh, I've dealt with police before. I pulled my arm back before and damn near had my arm snapped. So I know how police are. If Bandman Kevo would have punched on a police officer, they would have pepper sprayed him, beat the hell out of him, but he went to jail with nothing. No marks, no nothing. So I say, nah, there's no way there's an assault. And what do you know? The assault charges got dropped. So when we think about stuff like this, cats who just got out of the pen are aware of what they can and can't do because they had to sit in front of a probation officer and sit in front of a judge and all this stuff and be told and can ask questions about what they can and can't do and who they need to talk to and all this stuff and stuff like that. So for me, and this is just a me thing, it didn't make sense to me. It in real life didn't make sense. Like, bruh, nigga, I know this. I ain't on probation. I ain't been on probation in like 5 years now, 4 years. So, nah, But either way it go, man. He got court on Monday. I think ultimately what's going to happen is he's going to be released. They're going to give him a stern talking to and let him know this, and that. Because the fact that the lawyer sat up there and lied and said he had no permission and he had prior permission, that right there, that lets me know them lawyers are full of shit. If he had permission once or twice and stuff like that, that just means he could have mistaken how many times he could do whatever. That's a simple fix. Hey, bruh, you need to not do this. But the fact that you didn't even hear about them giving him a warning to let him know this stuff. They just waited for him to mess up one time. Man, the nigga been locked up for a decade plus. So y'all telling me that he automatically knew that getting permission all these times didn't mean that he had permission? I would think to myself, like, all right, I got permission to keep rocking with these cats. And he signed with Gucci Mane. So there's that, bro. But other than that, that's just a hating-ass probation officer and a lame-ass lawyer, and they need to let BG free. They need to get rid of the BS that they doing and let that man do his thing, bro. Because at the end of the day, he really didn't do anything wrong. If we go back and we look at what's accused, he did nothing wrong. So, I don't know, bro. This shit, like, I ain't gonna hold you. This lame as hell because this just shows how fucked up the system is. Like, I'm just gonna keep it authentic with you. It just does. It's pissing me off because I can't really say what I want to say. But bruh, this lame as hell. Just think about it for yourself, right? Let's go back to when you were a kid, and your mama and your daddy said, "Oh yeah, you can go over your homie house. You can go over your homie house. You can go over your homie house." So you keep going over your homie's house, but you didn't know. Hey, every time you go over your homie's house, you're supposed to ask. So you keep on going over there, and then one day, your mom and your pops, they ground you. And you sitting up there like, what did I do? I already had permission. That's what this reminds me of. But share to keep your people aware, subscribe, turn on the bells to notify. I got a huge ego. Now, I got a big video about to drop tomorrow at about, let's say 1 o'clock East Coast time, so 10 o'clock West Coast time, 12 o'clock Dallas and Oklahoma and all y'all Central time and everything like that on Judge Glanville, bro. I found some stuff and whoo, when I tell y'all, hey, this gonna be one of them videos where you gonna rewatch it because I'm gonna put little seeds into so many things that I swear to y'all gonna be like, yeah, Sadie Nash, he might be secret society, bro. He did that one. He just, I real life, on the real, I really put a lot of hidden messages within the first 2 minutes so that y'all can kind of figure it out. It's blatantly obvious, but certain things, bro, You just got to pay attention. So if you don't see this video at 3,000 likes, do me a solid, hit that like button for us into the algorithms, because we got to make sure this shit hit like local stations and stuff like that, bro. I think I'm the only person who broke this. I didn't search it up or anywhere like that, and none of the people I follow put this out, so I'll be the first one to put it out. But yeah.